Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance podcast. I can't speak.
And I would say take two, but this is an edit-free podcast.
We don't edit,
so
yeah, so
just roll with it, Ron.
That's right.
Rolling.
So yes, welcome back. I am your host, Ron Tate, and with me is
Isabel Tate.
That's it. Thank you.
And we had a week break.
We did
because did we have a week break? Yes.
Yes, we did.
Oh God, I can't.
Did
no,
we?
no,
we
I
didn't.
think
That
we've
was the
already.
week before.
Yeah, that was a week. Jeez.
God.
Oh my God.
That's what happens when we get when we're coming into Christmas.
Yes. Woo. If you're watching on YouTube.
Yes, if you're watching on YouTube.
People will see that we have got the Christmas tree behind us, the beautiful plastic Christmas tree.
No, it looks real from here.
So real.
Yeah.
Odor de Christmas tree. Yeah, no.
And so things are getting busy.
Got the aircon on.
Got the aircon on. It's very hot. I'm wearing my running gear, but I haven't actually been for a run today.
I'm wearing my running gear and I have been for a run and I stink. So lucky it's not smell-o-vision. I mean, Ron says I don't, but I think I'm not. I don't know if
well, she does, but she smells like roses.
Yes,
I keep telling her
that. Yes, indeed. So this morning I went out and did a streeto. It was my easy run day, so I didn't absolutely smash it, which was just as well because it was so hot.
Yeah.
I felt smashed. It was horrible. It was horrible.
It was. It was 9 o'clock or something when you finished, or before 9 o'clock.
Just before, and it was already 28 degrees, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so.
An oppressive heat, not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When it's 28 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's not a nice kind of heat.
No, that's right. So I suffered in silence, and yes,
only because there was no one there to listen to you anyway.
Yeah, well, I still bloody whinge out loud. And I am a cold weather runner. I prefer the cold weather. There are people who love the cool, but I get hot when I run and it's 8 degrees. I get hot. I can wear a singlet in 8 degrees. So of course, if it's 28 degrees, I'm just on Struggle Street. Yeah. I was on a lot of struggle streets.
You were on Struggle Street O.
Yeah, I was on Struggle Street O, absolutely. So anyway, got that done. And then here we are talking on the podcast.
Talking about contrasting, you did your long run on Saturday by yourself because I wasn't up for running.
No.
And
pouring rain the whole day.
And quite cool.
And I was getting cold because Ron was coming out and meeting me at different spots. And I'm like, I can't talk for long because it was windy and cold. And I'm like, I'm starting to get cold because I was just wearing singlet and skirt, whatever. Yeah. And I mean, as long as I was moving, I was all right. But if I stopped and then started again, I'd be freezing my ass off for a bit. So I was like, I can't stop for long. Just give me the Coke. So there is a reason why Ron hasn't been running, and we will get into that. But any updates? Anything at all?
No, nothing's happened much from last week.
No, I mean, I've been training hard this week, getting back into it. And then next week, well, there'll be no podcast next week, just saying there'll be a break because I'm on school camp. What
are you doing for school camp?
It's a cycling camp. So we're cycling from Yark to Mansfield and back because it's two groups of kids. So one group of kids will cycle from Yark to Mansfield over 3 days. And then the second group of kids, 3 days, Mansfield to Yark. So, so I won't be, if you look at my Strava, there'll be probably no running during the week because I don't know whether I'll be able to run. I don't know whether I'll be up for running. My butt will probably be so sore. I won't be able to run anyway. It'll be a waddle. I don't know. I haven't done a school camp with this school before because obviously I'm a relief teacher. I'm not an actual teacher at the school. I do relief work there, so I don't know what their protocol is. Back when I used to work at the primary school and I used to go on school camps, everyone knew Isabel gets up early and goes for a run. Right? It was just, that's what happened. And, but it's different, so I don't know. And I don't even know if I'll be up for it. We're camping in tents. I don't always sleep the most splendiferously in tents. I don't know what high school kids are like. at camp with primary school kids, you're up the whole night with kids who are homesick, kids who are sick, kids who are mucking around. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. If you get any sleep, it's a miracle. Whereas I'm hoping the kids will be so exhausted from the cycling that they'll pass out.
Yeah, is that, or you just have to keep all the boys out of the girls' tents?
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're intense. They've got a tarp.
Oh, right, okay.
Only the teachers get tents.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
they get like when my daughter used to go camping with army cadets, they just get a tarpy thing to sleep under. Sucks to be them.
The weather's good for them.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed there's none of that pouring down rain. Yeah. We shall see. Yeah. Anyway, so that'll be a bit of fun, something different. I agreed to do it because I thought it'll be a bit of fun, something different. But now I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to run all week. Oh, I'm sure I'll survive somehow. I'll get through this trying period of my life and emerge stronger and I don't know.
With a sore butt.
Yeah, with a very sore butt, no doubt. Because we went for one bike ride and my butt was sore for 3 days.
I know, yeah, that's
my sit bones were so sore. So anywho, that's me.
5 days in a row, I'm sure by the 5th day it'll be numb and you won't feel it.
And on day 2 and day 4, we're doing like 60 Ks.
And they're not they probably won't be fast Ks.
Oh no,
being a school group, so it could be
a long day sitting on that bike seat.
Yeah.
So they're buying some padded things to put on the seat, so we're going to look really cool. But you know what? I don't care. I'm like, bring me all the padding. I don't, seriously. So it should be a bit of fun, and it'll be fun to see the kids, out there getting active, doing some things. Anyway, as opposed to you.
Yes, I have been doing next to nothing. I've been going for a couple of very short walks. That's all I've been capable of doing.
Although at the gym yesterday, you did hop on the bike for 25 minutes.
It is getting a lot better now.
So tell the people what happened.
Well,
I injured him. No, I didn't.
Isabel makes me go to the gym.
It is true. I do make him go to the gym. When I was in Canada, he did not go to the gym once.
And
I can promise you he won't go to the gym next week either.
And guess what? My back was fine.
Yeah.
So, yes, we were at the gym and we were doing hex bar squats.
Yep.
And I bent down to pick up the hex bar and did it wrong. Don't know what I did wrong, but I did it wrong. And
lifted with your back instead of using your legs and arms. Like seriously, rookie error.
And at the time it was, just grabbed a bit.
You were a bit twingy. It wasn't anything terrible.
I wouldn't have called it painful. It was just.
And you ran home from the gym.
Ran home from the gym and then
ran the next day.
And then the day after that, I could barely. While I was at work, it just got worse and worse and worse.
Because you were having to lift some heavy things.
I was doing a heavy job at work.
But
then by Friday afternoon, I was in a world of pain.
I got these text messages going, I don't think I can run. So I had to, being the martyr that I am, and I went out by myself.
Yeah. And then
I didn't stay at home and look after you.
No. So you did your long run on Saturday, which because you were up around One Tree Hill, I drove up there and supported you, said, get back out in that rain. As I sat in the car where it was nice and warm and dry.
Yes.
And so I saw you because you were doing a bit of a loop-de-loop. I saw you a couple of times.
Yeah, so I was doing a loop-de-loop because I did 26K with just over 1,500 meters climbing. Yeah. So I was trying to get lots of vert in. So when you do that in the Dandies, you've got to kind of revisit your steps a bit. But yes, so it was nice to see you though.
And then on the Saturday night, we went to a party for a good friend, Andy Payne.
Yes, a race director of Hut to Hut. But it was not like we'd originally planned that. I would go, we'd have a few drinks, we'd have a fun night.
Get Uber home.
Nah, Ron wasn't. Ron could barely stand.
After 2 hours, I was in a world of pain. I couldn't.
So much pain.
Couldn't stand. Couldn't.
And he was on pain medication, so there's no point. No.
Yeah, I
didn't want to drink, and I'm not there to get pissed. So if you're not having a drink or two, it's kind of like
So we called it an early night, and then by Sunday morning,
you were even worse.
I could barely get out of bed.
Yeah, for that standing for that long, really did you in? And even then, we sat down for half of it as well.
Yeah.
But Yeah. So
yeah.
then I said, that's
That's it.
Yeah, because I kept saying, you need to go see someone, you need to go see someone.
And I was like, I'll see how I go, see how I go. I tend not to. I tend to just,
Me too. I never go to the doctor if I can help it. But I said, go to chiro, Luke Nelson, an amazing chiropractor at
Health and High Performance.
That's right. That's the one. And he's like a chiropractor, but he works with runners.
Yeah.
So he, and you were kind of worried, he might crack my back or something, but he didn't do anything like that, did he?
It wasn't that sort of.
No, and he'll deal with any injury. He's not just there to crack your back. And what's great about Luke is he wants to get you running.
He was more keen than I was to get me running again. So I saw him and he gave me a couple of, stretching exercises to do.
And he gave you a bit of a massage on the back.
A bit of a massage. And then, so by Wednesday, I went back and saw him again. And, he was happy with how it was progressing, said I should even try and run on Wednesday night
for 15 minutes.
For 15 minutes. So I thought, oh, great, I'll go out. I went out.
You did not go, oh, great. You came home and went, I don't know. I don't know.
And I went out to the local oval and I got about 200 meters and that was it. It was a terribly painful shuffle that I just, every time I hit a, bump or a hollow, it was excruciating. So I gave up on that and just continued to walk.
mean, in saying that, your back became amazingly better after seeing Luke.
Much better. Absolutely.
So much better. Like I could see, because you had this weird stance when you were in pain, you would stand like with your hips jutting forward. You look like a woman that's pregnant, 9 months pregnant. The way a 9 months pregnant, maybe overdue woman would stand, right? She's 10 months pregnant. That's how pregnant she is. Huge, and that's how you were standing. You looked like you were, and I'd been having to help you get your socks on and all sorts of things, just like a pregnant woman.
Yeah, that's right.
So you improved amazingly. You just weren't quite ready to run yet. And it's Friday and he still hasn't run?
No. I reckon I probably could go for an easy run today, but I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try tomorrow.
So that's what we want to talk about, is getting back into running after you've had an injury.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Ron hasn't had heaps of time off. It's probably once you get running, let's say 10 days, completely no running. But the running that you're going to be doing tomorrow and the next day is not going to be your normal running.
No.
Right? So you will have lost, let's say, because I think while I'm away, just do a few shuffles.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Okay. So let's say 2 weeks training gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you can't just jump back in to where you were, which is what we want to talk about, right?
Yep.
Because if you think about it, even me, like after the Marysville 100, I had a break for 2 weeks. And then when I started running again, holy moly, even after only 2 weeks, I felt like a bag of crap.
Yeah.
And every run felt incredibly hard. And it only just started to get easier and then it got hot. But, after any kind of break, you got to ease back into it. You cannot just pick up where you left off. Like if you've got a training plan, and this is why I don't like you people using these generic plans, because they have this plan and they're at week 6, they get injured. So then week 8, they're better and they just jump straight back into week 8.
Yeah.
When you've got a coach, they can go, right, we're going to adjust this, do this, cut this back, do that, ease you back into speed work, blah, blah, blah. But people with generic plans, they'll just jump, it's week 8, I better jump into week 8. Or well, when I get to week 20 where the race is, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right? So this is why it's really important to have a coach, because they can actually help you ease through this. And yes, even coached runners do get injured because they do stupid things like picking up weights wrong. But, having a coach can reduce the chance of injury, but nothing will ever eliminate the possibility 100% of injury, because we're human beings, we're not robots.
Lots of different ways you can get injured.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've torn a meniscus doing yoga, because anyway, that was, and silly things like that. It happens.
And there's of course tripping and
tripping and also sometimes you just can shit happens, right? Because if you're under a lot of stress from work, that means you've got a lot of cortisol. It's going to play out in your running as well. So anyway, whatever. What I'm trying to say is there's no guarantee when you coach that you won't get injured. It still happens, but it reduces your chances. But at least when you come back from injury, the coach can help you navigate that much easier. Luckily, you are a coach, so you know this already.
Yep.
And I'm here to make sure, because even coaches needs a coach to say, back off, take it easy.
Yes, you do.
know,
I mean, yes, they do.
Yeah, because even coaches want to do too much. We're all human, like I love training. So I want to do all the runs and all the kilometers and all the training, strength training and all the yoga and everything. And, there is only 24 hours in a day, sadly. So we're going to ease you back into the running. What do you feel that will look like?
Well, normally, I run 10 Ks midweek.
Every day. Yeah.
Every day, yeah.
As in, 6 days a week he runs.
Yeah, yep. And
normally on a Wednesday you'll do up to 15. That's your midweek long run.
Yes, yep.
The other days he does 10. Ron is a big slack ass, so he doesn't do any speed work.
I don't do speed work. No. The last time I tried to do speed work, I just kept on doing my hammy.
And that's the thing. Some people have a weak spot.
Yeah.
And that's, I hate to say it, but that's because you push the speed work too hard. It's this whole thing where people they think speed work means, it doesn't mean run as fast as you can, but you can't kind of control that. And that's a male testosterone thing. I'm not blaming you or blaming men. Like it's part of your genetic makeup.
I can do it. I want to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Even if I shouldn't do it, I still want to do it.
But just because you want to doesn't mean you should. And just because you can, but you can't, doesn't mean you should.
But anyway, I don't do a lot of speed work.
I used to give you speed work at the right paces and all that, but yes, you always wanted to run them faster and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, even though you knew not to. And that's why probably a coach that's not close to you would be better, because you don't care if you don't do what I say, but you'd probably care more if it was someone else that you were paying, you would do what they said.
Yeah, that's right.
Not that he doesn't trust me, but you know what it's like with your loved ones. So anyway, you don't do speed work, so we don't have to worry about easing you back into that.
No.
So if you normally do 10 Ks, what are you going to do?
So I'll probably start off, when I come back, I'll probably start off at 5 to 6 Ks.
And I would suggest doing like a 5-minute walking warm up.
Yeah.
So that you don't just go straight into running. 5 to 10 minutes, just walking and then run.
Yeah.
Right. And then a 5 to 10 minute walk at the end to cool the body down. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah. And then from there, I'll just, slowly pick it up, making sure everything is hunky-dory and nothing's.
And I would also suggest, you say 5 to 6 Ks, but if after 2 Ks it feels terrible, you've also got to listen to your body. And I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to everybody. You got to listen to your body. And if it's saying no, just because you've written 5 Ks in the calendar does not mean you have to do it.
And that's right. And that's also with Luke saying that I should do
15 minutes.
15 minutes as soon as I realised I couldn't. And even if I did, it was,
it was going to be painful and horrible and shit.
I just said, no, I'll just keep walking. And I walked the 15, or I actually walked 20 to 25.
Because I was doing hot yoga. Ron got me hot yoga.
Yeah. So I just walked instead of run. So I still got the movement, which was the most important thing in my back.
Because motion is lotion.
Yeah. So I still got the movement in. I just didn't, do any more damage or cause any more pain.
And that's the thing. Running is our hobby and it should be fun. Yeah. And if it's causing you pain, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So stop it. I mean, of course, it's going to cause discomfort. I'm not talking about that. My run today was painful, as in it was uncomfortable and I didn't overly enjoy it. But I mean, I'm not saying every run should be an absolute, oh, this was so awesome, my cup is full kind of shit.
Yeah.
But it should at least be, not hideously painful.
Yeah. And the other thing I will be very careful of is hill work.
I was going to say hills, yeah.
Because obviously you'll be going into the hills tomorrow to do a long run.
And I'll be doing it on my own.
You'll be doing it on your own.
Listening to my podcasts again, all on my lonesome.
Because not only does it hurt to, run leaning over, which is you kind of do when you're going up the hill, but the jolting of running back down the hill would be too much.
Yeah. Absolutely. And can you imagine if you tripped?
Yeah.
Oh God. Can you imagine if you slipped and fell on your ass?
Yeah. So I'll be avoiding the hills at least until next weekend. But even then, I'll just,
But you
see how we
have to
go
run next
leading into it.
weekend because next Saturday is your birthday and I can't run on my own on your birthday.
Yeah.
I would feel so guilty.
Yeah.
You can ride your mountain bike.
Yeah.
I would feel so bad leaving you at home. That's a happy birthday. I'm going for my run now. Bye.
See you later. Make sure
But
I've got breakfast when I get home.
I can believe I'd do it.
You just feel guilty.
I'd just feel guilty, but I'd still do it.
Yeah.
But at least I'd feel guilty. So can you make sure you can run?
Yeah.
I said I'll cut the run back to 20K, people. So I think
Yeah.
that's really pretty bloody, awesome
Yeah.
of me.
But that's only because we're going to be busy and we've got places to go afterwards.
They don't need to know that. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going out for lunch, so we're not going to have time for
Yeah.
30 Ks with
Although
2,000 meters climbing.
You did mention the option of running there, which would have been about
I said
50 Ks.
we could run there because it's in Frankston. I said, oh, we can run to lunch, and Ron's face of horror. I said to my son, and you can drive there and meet us. And he's like, what the fuck? I think he was thinking, but you'll smell and you'll be gross.
I don't want to sit in the car with you.
And you'll be wearing running clothes.
Yeah.
So I got vetoed.
You did.
I thought it was a bloody awesome idea, quite
great
frankly.
idea, except for the fact that we were going to have to sit, and have lunch after running for 50 Ks.
At a nice posh restaurant
with his sister, who would just sit there frowning
in
at
horror.
You the whole time.
She would be so cross. She hates me wearing running clothes. She hates everything to do with my running, quite frankly. So yes, but then that would be kind of funny to do that. Yes.
So just easing back into it, taking care, making sure I don't overdo it. Really listening to my body and focusing on helping my body to repair itself.
That's right. So because obviously running is a stress on the body. So when you run, your body isn't able to focus so much on the repairing. It's got to start focusing on, repairing from the run, let alone repairing the injury. That's why you've got to be super careful coming back. And also there's a reason you got injured. Muscles aren't strong enough. I mean, like maybe you should be doing some back strengthening exercises. He says, but he won't. Those sorts of things, and when you get injured, it's your body telling you something. So you need to listen, right? Ron probably needs to do back strengthening exercises. He probably needs to do a bit of stretching, and he probably needs to slow down at the gym and be more careful when he's picking things up. That's probably the most important thing. But I would also suggest that perhaps, with all the lifting and carrying you do at work, that your body was a bit weakened from that, because you had been doing heaps, hadn't you?
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting it's not just the weights, that the back was pre-weakened. So that's what you need to look at, what's going on in my life. And that's the thing. It's not just the running that can injure you or can burn you out. You have to look at your whole life. Like, sure, your glutes, sore, you've got glute tendinopathy or something, but do you spend all day at work sitting constantly for 10 hours a day? You need to look at what else is going on in your life and learn from that. Maybe you need to get up and walk around at work every hour for 2 minutes, those sorts of things. Maybe you need to just slow down at the gym, pick things up, like really think about it. Also, maybe get people to help you to lift things at work, so you're not having to just struggle, because they're awkward lifts. They're not just, it's not just picking up something, they're awkward shapes. So, maybe that's something you need to think about, those kind of things. So always use any injury as a message from your body, and what can I learn from this? And if you actually learn from it, then hopefully it's not a complete waste. It'll be like, right, now I can move on to the next injury from something different. But do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to look at what caused it, not just go, oh, well, I'm injured. Oh, bugger. Okay, I'll have my 2 weeks off. I'll ease back into it. Have a look. What happened? What caused it? Even though it seems like it was the gym that caused it, what led to his back being compromised, that doing that, which we do all the time.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we had just gone back to heavy weights after a bit of a break. So, and the thing is, I've been going to the gym since I was 16. Ron's been not a gym goer like me. So I am very conditioned into how to lift up weights. I'm also a personal trainer, you know, so I am very conditioned. I know exactly, like, to me, it's just instant to lift correctly. Whereas for Ron, it's not second nature.
No.
So he has to think about it more, slow it down, think about it, focus, you know, which was what I was probably like at the beginning. But no, it's like, it's just second nature to me. And I don't even think about it. That's why when he was saying he tweaked his back, picking up, I'm like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
How? This is what happens when I leave you to your own devices. I was off doing something else.
Turn your back for 5 minutes.
That's right. So yeah, so just use the injury as a message. What's happening in my life, not just my running, but in my life that is causing me to be susceptible to injury. Like, you know, when I got my stress fractures, yes, they were from running, but it was because I wasn't eating enough food. Okay. So we could blame the running, but in reality, it was that I wasn't eating enough food. I was under a lot of emotional stress, and, you know, I had other sort of shit going on. So it actually wasn't the running at all. It was all the other psychological stuff going on in my life. So the running was just the
straw that broke the
camel's back. The one, you see. So often our running injuries actually come from something else, and you need to look at your life and have a think, you know, do I need to eat more? Do I need to eat more of these certain foods? Do I need to take a supplement? You know, if it's cartilage and tendon, maybe take some collagen. I can never remember the word. You know, those sorts of things. Is it from a weakness? Do I need to strength train? And if so, do it bloody carefully. You know, with me, when I tore my meniscus in yoga, it's because I'm a little bit inflexible, and I just rushed the move. I wasn't being careful. I wasn't concentrating. And as soon as I did it, I was like, fuck me, that hurt. And I knew something bad. And I'm sitting there. I think I went white because the yoga instructor came over to me. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, I think I've done something really bad. And she's like, it'll probably be nothing. You're probably just stressed about nothing. I'm like, okay. But I knew it was bad. And I finished the class. And I did a test run the next day, and it was bad. It was bad. So then I tested it again the next day. It was still bad. I just kept testing it every day, and it was bad every day. I actually find a bit of a diary from around that time, and in it I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. It will be over. It'll be a memory soon. And I look back at it and go, God, I forgot that it was that bad. I did end up going to see someone. That's why I knew it was a torn meniscus, because I couldn't work out, because something was flicking in my knee, and it was hideous. Anyway, I got through it, as you do, you know, and it's a memory. And I learned now in yoga, I am so careful. I will not do anything that would possibly compromise my knees or any of my joints. I'm super careful. So maybe I look like a bit of a numpty compared to all the yogis there who are, you know, oh my God, so
throwing their legs around behind their back.
And I'm like, oh, so careful. Oh God, you know, I look like the 80-year-old, but that's all right. I still get a lot out of it. But I am super careful now. So you got to take the lessons. And, you know, with me, with the stress fractures, I eat a lot more, way more than I used to. And I've put on weight, and that's fine. You know, so you have to learn from these things. Every injury is a pain, and you wish it didn't happen, but it's giving you a message. And if you learn from it, then it's not completely wasted.
Yep.
So what have you learned, Ron? I've told you what I think you should learn, but what do you feel? Because I could be wrong. Yep. What do you feel that you've learned?
I feel, well, what I've learned, I mean, and deep down I knew it already, but you tend to get a bit blasé and forget, you know, because we are fairly fit and strong people, you tend to get a bit complacent.
Yeah.
So what I've learned is to actually think about what I'm doing when I'm lifting things.
Yeah.
And, you know, just take care and, you know, particularly in the gym, think about what I'm doing. Don't just go through the motions. Actually think about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
And I mean, I'm really big on that, which is why I don't like to wear headphones. I see all these people wearing headphones in the gym. I won't wear them because I need to be 100% focused on the strength work that I'm doing to engage the muscles I want. And although you don't listen to headphones either, but but like I said, because it's not second nature to you.
Yeah. Even because, you know, I have been going to the gym probably for the last 5 years-ish, but I've never really done free weights. you know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
I
that.
always kind of.
You did the shitty machines.
Yeah, I
You
prefer
did
to use machines.
pretend
Yeah.
weights.
So
Okay.
never been big on free weights.
See, that's me. I've been doing free
Yeah.
weights. I mean, I did those dumb like the dumb machine circuits that were really popular back in the 80s. You know, like so daggy. It'd be like a circuit, and you'd all go around. The music would change. Go to the next machine. It was so daggy. You know, with my leotardy thing, the G-string leotard that everyone used to wear with your big white fluffy socks. Oh, it's cool. And shorts. Don't worry, it wasn't the G-string leotard without shorts. You had your little bike shorts. Well, people might not know. Young people might not know what we used to wear. Anyway, so I did all those, and then I progressed to free weights. So yes, I mean, I didn't know you hadn't done any free weights.
I'd always.
Hence why I'm always going, Ron, and I'm always correcting your form, aren't I? Yeah.
I don't know why. I just prefer the stability of the machines.
And also, you don't need someone like you can do it, and you're generally going to get correct form, right? Whereas I used to work with a PT. I had a PT teach me how to use, and I used to, you know, get a PT twice a week, and I would get all, you know, make sure I'm doing the correct form, and he would actually guide my body through it.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, that was years and years and years ago when I was doing bodybuilding and all that sort of stuff, because it's really important then to have correct form. But I'd used free weights before then because I've always just liked free weights. I just prefer them. But yes, you know, and maybe when we go back to I'm still at the gym because I'm not going to give up my training for you. God, I sound so selfish. But when you start again, I think you should stick with the machines. Like I can't remember. There was something wrong with me a little while ago, and I just stuck to machines for a while. I can't remember what that was. It wasn't anything bad. It was just a niggle.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think for you that when we go back, you should just stick to the machines for a bit because it guides you through the correct range of motion and it supports your back.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, because even doing upper body with the free weights, your back is not supported. That's why free weights are great, because you're doing a core workout every time, even if you're doing, you know, a shoulder press or whatever, it's a core workout as well. Whereas I think you should stick to machines for a couple of weeks and just light weights on the machines. And this is the thing, it's not just, you've got to be careful coming back to running, but you should come back carefully to strength training, because every runner should be strength training. So this is why I need to say this. Come back carefully to strength training as well. Even if your injury wasn't caused by strength training, you still need to be careful and ease your body back into it.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Because it's not fun having an injury, and so you don't want to unnecessarily either prolong it or, you know, go backwards. Once
and a lot of people keep pushing it, and I'll just see how that hamstring feels today. I'll see how that torn meniscus feels. Mind you, I didn't really cut back my training at all for the torn meniscus, but I am not advocating for that for anyone. I think it was, as from what I recall, it was a pretty horrible time. So please don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. So yeah, that was madness, but I was also not in a good place at that time necessarily. So running was my, you know, savior. But, you know, don't keep testing. If it hurts, then, you know, find out why and get it fixed. I was seeing someone. So I did see someone. Don't worry. I was under actual care. I wasn't just willy-nilly going running, except for the first few. See somebody. Often just knowing, didn't you find that for yourself? Just knowing
Absolutely.
What it was?
I mean,
helped with the pain?
When my back first, you know, was really painful, I didn't know what to do other than to do nothing. Like, because everything
that was actually
hurt.
the worst thing to do, wasn't it?
Because everything hurt, I didn't want to move it.
Yeah.
But the first thing Luke got me doing was actually moving it, and not big movements, certainly not under any kind of strain, but just nice, easy, gentle movement to start with, and, you know, just to loosen it up, like loosen everything up around it, get the back used to moving again.
And that was amazing how quickly that helped, wasn't it?
Because when you've got a sore back, particularly in what I had, the body, everything around that back seizes up to protect it. Whether it needs it or not. It's, as Luke said, the body is great at overreacting. So you know, I didn't necessarily need everything to seize up, but that's what my body did. So really, my number one priority was to actually get it moving again.
Yeah, and so it was just good to get that expert knowledge.
Yeah.
And also because I think you were nervous about moving because you thought you might be making it worse, right?
That's right.
But to know that you're okay, it hurts, but you're not making it worse, right? And just knowing that actually can reduce the pain and the stress and everything, which once you reduce the stress, the body can heal a lot better. So I do believe it's really important to get these things checked out. If it's causing, you know, a change in gait, a pain level above a 3 or 4, you know, then get it checked out, even for peace of mind, just to know. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All righty. Well, I hope none of you are injured, but if you are, just take it easy getting back into the running, and also just take solace in that it's part of the running journey being injured. I've had many injuries over the years. And I don't get injuries anymore. I just get niggles. But I don't. I haven't been. You haven't known me where I've had to take any time off running for an injury.
No.
Whereas before I met you, when I was first running, I used to get more injuries when I first was running because my body wasn't used to it yet.
Yeah.
And then the injuries I got after that were like broken shoulders and dumb stuff that was not related to really running.
Not related.
They were done running.
Yeah, not related to the process of running.
Yeah. Although I remember one time I was injured, so I was mountain biking. And then I fell and broke my shoulder. Mountain biking, it was like far out Brussels sprout. So, you know, just take it easy and know that everybody gets injured. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
And you're far better off dealing with it
and doing it right,
getting it right, and then coming back to running than trying to run through it and just prolonging it or making it worse.
Potentially making it worse, but at the very least prolonging it. And like we said, it's no fun running when it's agony, where every step it's like, you know, like, running's painful, you know, speed work's painful, blah, blah, blah. But it's not the pain of doing damage, you know, that's different. So just chill out, use that time to focus on other things, you know, get into some cross training, do some other things. I don't know, do some goal setting, focus on cleaning up your diet, focus on spending time with family that you don't normally have time to because you're always running. I don't know. There's always other things to do. You know, running's awesome, but if you are injured, you need to understand that you have to have a break. And, but I'm a runner, I'm hardcore, is not going to cut it, because your body needs a break. Says me, who didn't take a break. What an idiot.
You can say that now.
Yeah. But I mean, I may have taken a break. I actually don't remember. I just remember I ran for the 2 days after, and then I went and saw someone, and then I may have taken a break, but I probably blanked that from my memory. Because I've regularly taken breaks, you know, 3 months or longer for injuries back when I used to get injured. So, you know, it's not like I was averse to taking breaks. I make it sound like I'm really hard. I'm real David Goggins, you know, running on broken feet or something, but no, I'm not. So don't do a Goggins. There is no glory in being a Goggins and just pushing through and, you know, I'm tough, I can do this. No, you're just a human being like the rest of us. All righty. So if you are injured, you know, it's okay. You will come through this. This too will be a memory at some point. And this will be for you too.
It will. Yep.
You know, the thing is, I struggle too, because I have to run on my own on the weekends. It's weird. I'm not loving it, but you know, it's okay. So anyway, hopefully if you are injured, you'll be back out there running again soon. And and we hopefully will see you out on the trails.
Absolutely.
And if you do, say hi to us.
Yeah, and we'll try and say hi back if we notice, if we're not drowning in our own misery and don't happen to see anyone.
That's right. As can sometimes happen. We're like, what? Was that who? What? Anyway, all right. Have fun out on the trails or on the cross trainer. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.